Welcome to News 360 on TV3. We are also live on DSTV channel 279. My name is Grace Hamwa Ajimari.
Hello, good evening to you. I am Noble Crosby Annan, and these are the headlines of the bulletin tonight.
News 360 headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal,
EcoBank.
Coming up, dozens of Ghanaian nationals in South Africa start registration process to prepare for voluntary repatriation from xenophobic attacks.
Repair works on Kaneshie footbridge is yet to commence despite assurance by AMA to reopen the facility within 1 month.
Also, coming up tonight, we're bringing you the story about doubt still hanging on a 1.5 billion marine drive project expected to transform Accra's waterfront. There's government yet to find clear path for financial engineering.
Later on international front, a man has been killed after opening fire on a Secret Service security checkpoint near the White House in Washington, D.C. We'll have details of these and more in the next 60 minutes. Stay with us.
Welcome to the program. Let's start from here. Dozens of Ghanaian nationals earlier today started gathering outside the Ghana High Commission in Pretoria after arriving in taxis ahead of tomorrow's security screening process. Now, the screening exercise is part of the planned repatriation of Ghanaian nationals from South Africa following ongoing xenophobic attacks on foreign nationals. South Africa SABC News quoted the first group is expected to depart on Wednesday, with about 800 nationals having so far indicated willingness to return to Ghana. However, only 300 have been processed, and Ghana's High Commissioner to South Africa, Benjamin Ananekwashi, says many Ghanaians no longer feel welcome. Pictures of the story via courtesy Luyanda Danka.
Meanwhile, some Ghanaians have been speaking at the High Commission ahead of the planned repatriation. Listen to some Ghanaians and then Ghana's High Commissioner to Ghana.
It was a visit visa. I went to seek an asylum. I decided not to go because I was having an problem with my family. And I said, no, let me try and get to some country. I tried a lot of countries. It's South Africa that they gave me a visa. And I came here. When I came here, and the visa got expired, and I said, I have to go and seek asylum because if I go back, something will happen to me. And I went and gave them my stories, I narrate everything, and they gave me asylum paper. I'm not abusing South African immigration law. They helped me when I came here. I presented my case to them, like what I said, and they offered me the asylum paper.
I don't have confidence in the safety of my environment because there have been 3 incidents where I have been attacked and I have to come to the High Commission to seek shelter, which I've already explained. The first one was on the 1st May in Joburg, where I had to run because I was going to eat our local food. The second time was closer to the Jabulanimo. The third time was in Middleton's. And I cannot sit and wait till it's more dangerous. It couldn't be any dangerous. In as much as I came here to do my sport business or what have you, I can't risk my life in exchange for that. I've been even up to a year, just 9 months, but I don't feel safe, so I have to go home. Per immigration, I am legal. So, yes, the documents that immigration allowed me at Ora Tambo. Yes, came here for sports. Yes, but I've not landed any job yet. Yeah, so I was still hunting, but I don't feel safe, so I have to go back home. Yeah, so it is what it is. There's no other way to say it. I'm not mincing words. If I don't feel safe, then I just have to go home.
You sound very angry at this point.
No, I'm not angry. I'm just surprised that fellow black people would treat us that way, especially when I'm legal. My anger stems from the fact that I have never overstayed in any of the 13 countries I've ever been to, and I have never overstayed in South Africa.
We've started the screening process for the first 300 Ghanaians who voluntarily want to be repatriated home. These people are here. We got an appointment with the Border Management Authority and also Home Affairs to be able to come here, set up workstations so that they can screen them. The screening is an important part. Before we are able to, put anybody on the plane, everything should be checked out to ensure that those are people that are legally or in terms of your Immigration Act leaving the country. I'm sure if you go inside now, you see that there are more than 30. I asked you to let your cameraman go inside and check the numbers. I'm told that we have close to about 120 people inside currently. These are people that are coming, and people coming from all the provinces. Gauteng alone, we registered close to about 400 people who are coming. So what we have done now is that we have staggered those who are going go first. We want to do women, children, the vulnerable, the sick, the elderly. So most of these people are going to be part of the first group that leaves on Wednesday. Well, I think that the situation in this country has been fluid till now. I know that we're not going to run away from the realities on the ground. People are not happy. People have lost economic value in everything that they do. I have people in, let's say, somewhere in Escort, where a mayor had decided that closing shop belonging to legal Ghanaians that are there and giving the keys to locals to take over. I think that we should be able to discuss these things. Once you are in a country and there are challenges like this, you feel unwelcome. And I think that is why government wants to come in and say, look, if you are not welcome here, come back home because you are a citizen of Ghana and will be able to reintegrate you into the society.
Well, earlier on News Central, Associate Professor at the Legon Center for International Affairs and Diplomacy, University of Ghana, Professor Daniel Dramani Kipel, called for the suspension of South Africa from the African Union. He said drastic measures must be taken to protect continental unity.
I think that our continental body, African Union, has been very lenient to South Africans, and I expect that the continental body should have taken drastic measures against the South African authority. The very continental unity that our forefathers fought, including Nelson Mandela, who was also a visionary looking for the unity of the continent. I don't think Mandela will be happy to see that the country that he fought for their freedom, the man which African leaders supported, including Ghana, political liberation of South Africa, that country has now turned it back, torturing, molesting, attacking the very people who fought for their liberation. Sadly, they have overlooked the very regime that suppressed them with racial segregation, and they have turned to the vulnerable one, torturing them. And that is why I said the African Union at least could have taken measures, possibly even expelling South Africa as a member of African Union. This is a very drastic measure that would have made the president and the ministers there to know that they have gone overboard and the continent is against them. The attack is not only West Africa, even the SADC members, Zimbabwe, Malawi, are subjects of attack. That is why African Union should have taken drastic measures against the South African leaders, at least to keep warning to other African leaders that our continental unity is still very important and we must do everything to promote internal trade, to promote free movement within our continent.
And we'll be staying on this story to bring you a lot more, especially when the first batch of Ghanaians arrive in the country. Moving away from that, after years of delays, abandoned timelines, and investor uncertainty, government says the long-stalled Marine Drive project is yet to gain momentum. Tourism Minister Ablaji Fagomashi insists government is securing strategic development partners to fast-track construction and transform the once-stalled coastal line into a major tourism and commercial hub.
The proposed Marine Drive project is intended to be situated on a 241-acre land, stretching from the Art Center Enclave through the Black Star Square to the Osu Christianborg Castle area. A visit to the site reveals some changes. Large portions of the land have now been cleared and divided into development lots with demarcations of lanes. However, there is no active work ongoing. Squatters who hitherto occupied part of the beachfront for years have been evicted as authorities move to secure the land for what government describes as one of the most ambitious tourism and urban redevelopment projects in Ghana's history. The 1.5 billion Marine Drive project is expected to transform Accra's waterfront into a modern tourism and commercial hub, featuring hotels, restaurants, shopping centers, residential apartments, entertainment facilities, an aquarium, and an aqua park. The development will include both low-rise and high-rise buildings, with some structures expected to rise as high as 26 floors, potentially reshaping the skyline of central Accra. The project is also expected to create about 150,000 jobs and attract more than 1 million tourists annually when fully completed. Despite the grand vision, the project has suffered years of delays during the previous NPP's administration after it was launched with huge public expectation. The setbacks to the advancement of the project have been blamed on investor uncertainty, bureaucratic delays, land compensation challenges, and difficulties in securing long-term financing for the massive redevelopment. Although sword cutting ceremony and policy announcements were made, fiscal progress on the ground remained minimal for years, with part of the project land turned into dam sites by squatters of Art Center who also consume electricity from the national grid for free. Critics have questioned the current administration's financial and administrative capacity to execute the Marine Drive project. But the minister, Ablanjifa Gomashi, says government is actively seeking investors and development partners to fast-track construction and unlock the project's economic potential.
I saw the packaging by the anchor developer and Amdel on how they are going to have a roadshow to get investors to come and invest in the place. Everything else, I think we have crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. We just need people to bring, express interest in it, and of course, bring the financing to come and engage with the ministry so that we can take off from there.
She's also confident that work will progress steadily before the end of the administration.
I'm careful not to blame when I don't understand what happened, but I'm guided by the delay that has, taken place all these years, and see how I address that by moving fast to ensure that we see some development going on and to have a beautiful seafront. We are losing out by not developing the Marine Drive, and so it's my passion to ensure that at least under my tenure as Minister for the sector, that we see some movement and some work being done in the area.
As a result, a 5-member board of directors have been inaugurated to move the project beyond its current state. For many Ghanaians, the renewed commitment by government to seek the continuation of the Marine Drive project to beautify Accra's coastline signals a turning point for a project that for years existed more on paper than in reality. It is the expectation that the Accra Marine Drive project may deliver the transformation successive governments promised. Stanley Nibble, TV3 News, Accra.
Away from the Marine Drive project, the Ghana Armed Forces has concluded exercise Storm Shield, a 2-week training exercise in the eastern part of the Upper East region, and it was aimed at preparing troops to counter insurgency threats. The exercise provided an opportunity for learning and improving the armed forces' preparedness against both internal and external aggression. Our reporter Castro Senyala has more in this report.
This military team is not undertaking its usual patrols within the Boko General area. Instead, it is heading to one of the mountains in Kulungugu, where a tactical military counter-insurgency drill is taking place. The drill forms part of the Ghana Armed Forces exercise Storm Shield, conducted in the eastern part of the Upper East region. It aims to improve the combat readiness and rapid response capabilities of the Army, Navy, and Air Force in responding to internal and external security threats. The tactical drills and simulation exercises did not only take place in Kulungugu. At other locations, troops rehearsed explosives detection, search and rescue operations, ambush response, and targeted cordon and search operations. Colonel John Quatten, the Northern Command Operations Officer, said the training will enhance the Ghana Armed Forces response to threats.
So if you are able to bring the combat to them at times that they least expect, you are able to defeat them before they get to the community to disturb the civilians. And that is what we have done this morning.
With insurgent activities occurring across the border in neighboring Burkina Faso and Togo, the Armed Forces says it will continue ongoing efforts and training exercises to maintain a high level of readiness, especially among troops deployed in the north.
The objectives of the exercise, I can say that it's been fairly met. Exercise Shieldstorm is just one of the series of exercises that has been lined up by the Ghana Armed Forces to test operational readiness, not only at the individual level, but subunit, service, and subunit levels.
While the Ghana Armed Forces continues efforts to secure the northern borders, it is also keeping a close watch on the unstable situation in the Boko General area. The General Officer Commanding of the Northern Command, Brigadier General Walanyo Agbebo, said the military will not tolerate actions that could disrupt peace-building efforts in Boko.
We haven't come here to play. The resources that are involved is not small. The government attaches so much importance to Boko and its environment. That's why they have sent all these resources for us to come and train here. Peaceful Boko people will have peace. Those who don't want us to have peace, they will not know peace. We will not allow anybody to threaten the peace. We will match everybody boot for boot, and we will deal with any recalcitrant ruthlessly.
The Chief of Army Staff of the Ghana Armed Forces, Major General Lawrence Kwoku Betanu, visited the exercise area to assess the progress of the training and interact with troops on the ground. He urged stronger interagency collaboration to protect Ghana's borders and said the performance of troops during the exercise reaffirmed the armed forces' ability to defend the country's sovereignty.
Your performance has reaffirmed that the Ghana Army, and by extension, the Ghana Armed Forces, remains a capable, dependable, and mission-ready force prepared to always defend the sovereignty and territorial integrity of our nation in collaboration with other sister security agencies. This exercise was merely
Castro Signala, TV3 News, Boko General area.
To some other stories tonight, Roads and Highways Minister Gavins Kwame Agboja has intimated that the ministry will continue to monitor ongoing road projects as a measure to ensure quality and speed of work by contractors. He also emphasized that all road projects in the country which were started under the previous government will not be terminated. He was speaking to journalists in the Northeast region when he inspected some ongoing road projects.
The minister first inspected work on the construction of a bridge over the White Volta River along Mishuo-Woyema, which has been on contract since 2015. While applauding the contractor for his work, he appealed to him to ensure the project is completed before the end of 2027 to open the place up for economic activities to thrive.
The young people here need to come and join me and the chief executive in Accra looking forward. Meanwhile, there's opportunity to earn a better living in their own community. All they wanted us is not handouts. Create the opportunity for them to live within their own community and make a decent living. Just recently, I heard some other politicians sitting at home when they had 8 years and did very little about this, started counting what they claim they have done and somebody is taking advantage of. Does this bridge look like something that was completed and somebody is taking advantage? It doesn't mean anything to us. So those who abandoned these things for 8 years, give us a break. And now that you have remobilized your site, please don't move until we finish this.
The minister also inspected ongoing work on the Bintri, Nankpanduri and Saboba Chereponi roads. Northeast Regional Minister Ibrahim Tia expressed satisfaction on the progress of work on the road projects in the region.
I've been here a number of times to see the work that he's doing. I'm not a technical person, but I'm highly impressed with the work that he's doing so far, and I think my director can attest to that. In view of those projects, I've sent the list of the communities to the various MMDCs to look at it and look at where the need really is, so that we can fix that for those communities stretching along the tree up to Natanuri.
On clamping down of armed robbery and other attacks on the roads, Ibrahim Tia revealed that 5 police vehicles and other logistics will be made available to the police to intensify patrols on the roads.
Now, after assurances by city authorities to repair and reopen the Kaneshie pedestrian footbridges within a month of their closure, no repair works have commenced. And Stanley Nible reports that pedestrians are now crossing the busy highway at dangerous sections, putting their lives at risk as the bridges continue to deteriorate.
On Thursday, April 2, 2026, the Accra Mayor Michael Kpakpo Alote closed the Kaneshie pedestrian footbridges to pave way for maintenance works. The bridges serve as an important link for pedestrians crossing from one side of the highway to the other. Over the years, however, the structures have come under immense pressure due to the human traffic on the bridge. Beyond their intended purpose, traders and beggars have also turned portions of the walkway into business spaces, a practice that has persisted for years. Several metal components of the bridges now appear heavily rusted, while part of the structure shows signs of severe wear and tear. A closer look beneath the walkways reveals visible corrosion and concrete slabs gradually dislodging from their original positions. Pedestrians say they often experience frightening vibrations whenever large crowds use the bridges, prompting the Accra Mayor to order their immediate closure for repairs. Funding for the project was expected to come from the Assembly's internally generated funds, with repair works projected to last a month.
We are going to just close one side so that I will not give the bridge too much pressure. We are just going to close one side of the bridge so that the people can use it for the meantime. So it's not going to have so much pressure on the bridge. So as for closing one side, we are going to do that.
However, the deadline for the completion of the project has long elapsed, with engineers yet to move to site. During the news team's visit to Kaneshie Sunday afternoon, a disturbing situation prevails. The bridge continues to deteriorate even though close to the public. Trading on the stairs lingers as traders hint they could no longer countenance the delay by the assembly to repair the bridge. Kobe's mother is among traders plying their business on the footbridge. He spoke to TV3 about the engineer's delay in moving to site.
The bench now by gidi actually money be a show sort of our natural about feeling gidi. You don't know about fair bridge and about fake still. Na Ghanaians and quality baona. So go back now for me only banya tramuko. You'll 50-50 banya tramuko easy.
Other traders were worried.
The bridge efite war never need a fracture the back show way. What time ko sumo. Ya ko han gbo mata no. Ni no ko ba happen. Dan aba ka oh me gbo ma the safety. Shini abalwake. Aka abanaba fe bridge no. No me wala ka adaka abanaba wedding. Allo abanaba session affair. Government mo ko yuko bi ka ho.
Pedestrians become vulnerable as motorists in many instances disregard their presence, especially after 6 p.m. when traffic regulators close and leave the scene. For minutes, I stood and watched motorists neglecting zebra crossing and putting pedestrians' lives in jeopardy in an attempt to access the opposite side of the highway. Samuel Alote, a transport executive, is not happy.
Zebra crossing no man no you want lenche won eco machine me ka me na ekwa mbayi ni egbeye aka me no la gbe mu down.
Pedestrians are now calling on city authorities to urgently begin rehabilitation works on the deteriorating footbridges, warning that continued delays could lead to a major tragedy as they risk their lives daily crossing the highway. Stanley Nible, TV3 News, Accra.
And commercial drivers in the whole West District have abandoned the Kpeje to Asante Boita Road due to the bad nature of the road affecting movement along the stretch. Residents say trading activities are seeing a significant downturn and are appealing to government to rehabilitate the road.
Here in Asante Boita, Achem and Puji are predominantly farmers with a population of about 8,000. But the only road that connects the communities to Kpeje is in an extremely bad state, forcing commercial vehicles to abandon the road. Traders say trade activities have been negatively impacted, resulting in increased costs of doing business. The road is so terrible, so we are not able to get commercial vehicles to transport our goods to the market for us. We now rely on motorbikes. It is not that convenient. Sometimes the goods are destroyed because the motorbikes, they don't handle them well. A car can just take everything at once, but for the motorbikes, they come and go. So we end up spending so much money on transport. It is disturbing. It gets worse when it rains. The riders sometimes abandon our goods on the road, and we lose a lot. Those of us doing business, particularly the women, we suffer a lot. Even motor riders complain that navigating the stretch comes at a huge cost. The road is narrow and riddled with potholes. And sometimes, if you are not careful, you could just crash with another motorbike. Sometimes we ask passengers to get down and walk. Then we pick them when we feel safer. Just because of the state of the road. Something has to be done about it because it is endangering our lives. Despite numerous assurances from governments, the road has moved from bad to worse.
We produce all kinds of farm produce like cocoa, coffee, salopia, banana, which we transport to Beji, Uhu, Sugakope, even to Accra. But because of the road situation, our product remains in our community and sell. So we are pleading to the government to come to our aid to help or to upgrade our road for us so that we can transport our.
In 2012, government commenced work on the 6-kilometer road under Cocoa Roads, but work stopped just after the first layer of bitumen surfacing.
Only the first layer was done. Because of that, the rains have washed the top layer, and we started suffering from that time again. We made several appeals to our opinion leaders, the Youth Assembly, the Chief Executive, the past ones and the present ones. Well, they've assured us that they will do something about it, but we have not seen any positive result as at now.
Though several road projects are ongoing in the Volta region, inner roads are yet to receive the same level of attention. Faisal Abdul Idrisu, TV3 News.
You're watching News 360. We're live also on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana. We're going for a break. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, Wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Why are more and more professionals choosing Flamingo Paint?
Flamingo Paint has great hiding ability to cover and transform old walls easily with just one coat.
With just small paints, I think huge area, meaning more profit for me. Great value for money.
guarantees durability for all my buildings.
Flamingo Paint. Superior hiding, superior coverage, superior durability. Flamingo Paint. Simply superior.
One choice, multiple styles. All big, all unique.
Nero Prime quenches your thirst and refreshes you. Nero Prime. Stay hydrated, stay refreshed. For every pack of Nero Prime water, we donate a part of it for breast cancer treatment in association with Breast Society of Ghana. This advert is FDA approved. Nero Prime quenches your thirst and refreshes you. Nero Prime. Stay hydrated, stay refreshed. For every pack of Nero Prime water, we donate a part of it for breast cancer treatment in association with Breast Society of Ghana. This advert is FDA approved.
Give more strength to your hair with Mega Growth Leave-In Strengthener. It's infused with nourishing oils and conditioning proteins so you can say goodbye to hair breakage. Wow! Mega Growth Leave-In Strengthener.
Welcome back. This is News 360 on TV3. Let's do some more stories. Now, Deputy Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, Davis Ansah-Poku, has noted that the parliamentary body has taken a cue from what has been described as a religious mishap and will implement new measures to prevent any confusion regarding the handling of the Quran during proceedings. The issue of mishandling of the Islamic holy book came to the fore after an Islamic school's head teacher drew the attention of the committee during a session.
During a packed sitting on Wednesday, May 20, the headmistress of Suhum-based Islamic Girls Senior High School, Safia Salifu, raised concerns about how the Quran is handled during hearings. She requested that the Quran and other holy books be kept in separate boxes, not mixed with other official documents, and handled exclusively by Muslims. The chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, Abnau Sayasa, responded explaining that both the Quran and the Bible are treated as instruments of work displayed on the table for witnesses to swear oaths. The incident has since generated public discussion.
Please, can you put Honorable Misbah in charge of our Quran? Because we don't put anything on Quran and it has been mixed up with some other documents. Thank you.
So you need a Quran, right?
No, we have to get a separate box to keep the Quran in and probably get a Muslim to distribute it because we perform ablution before touching it.
We place all the Bibles and the Quran on the table. When you come, you pick it. They are instruments of work and we use it as such.
However, reacting to the development, Deputy Chair of the committee, Davis Ansah-Poku, said the matter had been taken seriously.
We are not there to read the Quran. We are not there to read the Bible.
Yes.
We are there to take oath. But the lady has now exposed us to something that is of worry to her faith.
Okay.
Now, I mean, what does it take? Having two boxes, putting them in there.
So the next time you sit, we are going to see that.
Yes. But we also have to find out from other religious people to see if indeed it's against the faith.
Ansah-Poku also admitted that despite the numerous cases that are put before the Public Accounts Committee, there is no criteria on how the cases are handled.
It's a uniform thing.
Is it?
And if you look at the report, the Auditor General's report, in all of the instances, they tell, okay, this is what has happened, and this should be the punishment. But the reason why you want to invite people over is to now get to understand why these breaches went on. For all you know, somebody somewhere did not show a document to, and that is why sometimes we solicit for documents. So the person will say that, oh, Honorable, when the auditors came, we didn't give them this, but now we have it. I say, do you have it here? Oh, yes, we do. Show it to the auditors. Then now it behoves on the Auditor General to go and verify same.
He further disclosed that the committee has recovered over 106 million Ghana cedis to the state after inviting institutions and individuals.
Now, from compound houses to gated communities, the way children are raised in Ghana is rapidly changing. And as modern parenting replaces traditional communal support systems, concerns are growing over what children may be gaining and losing in the process. Nura Mohammed has more in this report.
It takes a village to raise a child, does it? I'm here at the Jamestown community to ascertain and find out if this is still the case or not, and why.
Growing up, many Ghanaians in close-knit communities such as Jamestown were raised not only by their parents, but also by extended family members, neighbors, and the wider community. From providing food, clothing, and shelter to instilling discipline and values, a child was often seen not as the responsibility of only one household, but of the entire community. In many ways, the upbringing and welfare of children reflected the collective efforts of the community. But as society evolved with urbanization, modernization, and the growing adoption of the nuclear family system, so too did these parenting practices. Many parents gradually became the primary and sometimes sole nurturers of their children, raising them with little external influence or interference. Associate Professor Isaac Mensah Boafo, a sociologist and senior lecturer at the University of Ghana's Department of Sociology, shares his perspective on the shift.
Some years back, then the socialization of children was the collective responsibility of every member of society. So we have people working long hours, even architectural and housing designs have all facilitated these changes. We all want to live in gated communities. We all want to have self-contained houses that you don't need to share anything with anybody. And most importantly, I think we are also, what we have is a weakening collective conscience, where more or less people are dealing more with their individual values rather than communal values.
He believes that while many people have moved away from the communal approach to raising children, a healthy balance between traditional communal values and modern parenting may be the ideal path forward.
What we know for sure is that we cannot go back to the olden days. That one is not possible. But we need to find a clear or a very good balance between the old and the new. Parents have a major role to play when it comes to this. Our media personalities, media houses, influencers, to be showing local content that projects our cultural values and norms. So that if I see you, even outside, wherever I see you, I always say that sometime back when we traveled outside, you just observe somebody from afar and you say, oh, this person should be a Ghanaian.
Interactions with residents and parents within the Jamestown enclave revealed mixed opinions on the matter.
Some of the families, the way they would treat your son or your child is not the way you yourself would treat it. In the olden days, our forefathers says, looking at your own thing is not the way someone will look at it for you. Because when you have something like the way I'm having my son, if I give it to one of my family, the way he or she would treat him is not like the way I would treat my son. So everything you, the mother or the father, has to do what your son or daughter needs, so that you can treat him the best.
I stay with my mom. I can do it alone, but I have to get a support from my relative. I can't only raise my child alone. Yeah. Because if my mom have advice to, she too can add it to mine.
When I'm growing up, I stay with my mother, and I think that house, I can call it like a disciplined house, because anyone in the house can discipline you. Maybe your mother won't allow that now, but at first my mom even won't care about that, they will discipline you whilst your mom is there.
This Jamestown, if you beat somebody's child, the way the person will come and insult you, it's a good thing. Say, won't mention now, beat mention now. Go ahead, there will be the ain't mention. I know the idea that's what a cost was.
In our area, when you don't have money, you can't discipline any child. Maybe she will be like, when you send her something happening to her, she's the one going to take care of her, so you don't have the right to beat her or send her.
As our Ghanaian society keeps evolving, so too does parenting. And be it raising children in the extended family or communal setting or the nuclear setting, one question still lingers. Who exactly is raising our next generation? Nura Mohammed, TV3 News, Jamestown, Accra.
Well, in April, Ghana launched its national AI strategy, setting a clear path to grow the country's digital future. The move, alongside the 1 Million Coders initiative, is opening new opportunities for young tech innovators. However, many say access to funding, mentorship and support systems is a key determinant of how far the ecosystem can truly grow. In this report, Samuel Yeboah Adams tells a story of a young tech innovator.
In the heart of Dansoman, one of the suburbs in Accra, Frederick Abila thought he was the only child who had no talent. But out of curiosity, everything changed.
When I was young, I think I tried singing, didn't work. I tried doing choreography. It was too difficult for me. So I tried doing a whole lot of things. And the biggest challenge I had back then was to write. Because I've always been getting ideas even from infancy. It wasn't because I was interested in technology. I just wanted to learn more, understand more about these things. I developed an interest over time just engaging with those kind of things, and then that's when I started building. So it was out of curiosity that I got involved in technology, because initially I'd always wanted to be a doctor.
Now a level 300 student of the University of Mines and Natural Resources, Takwa, he recounts the strides he has made as a young tech innovator alongside his passion for mental health.
The very first platform I built was an e-commerce platform, because my mom is a hairdresser, but she decided to add trading into her activities. So I just wanted to learn how digital marketplaces work and try and find a way to help sellers sell their products online. I got interested in more ideas, and one of them had to do with social media, and that was during COVID-19. So during that period, I started to learn more and more, and I started to build a social media platform. So I was just thinking, what other service might we be lacking in terms of availability to the internet? And I realized social media was one of them. Because similar to PayPal, if Facebook, Instagram, all the big leagues decided to, let's say, shut down in Ghana, it would be very distressful. So I decided to take on that challenge and build something similar to that for Africans. So with that, I developed a wider sense of building. I decided to enter into building products related to connecting or bringing people together.
However, he says young tech innovators like himself face a lot of challenges.
A lot of work is going on and no one is taking notice of what is going on. And it makes it very difficult to build in Ghana, because I feel like a lot of youth have their ideas and they have their solutions available. But if the government doesn't adopt these solutions, everyone would want to go and seek greener pastures elsewhere.
Fortunately for him, he met Andrew Child, a UK-based market researcher who found what he does fascinating and has since supported his ideas.
And I came across Fred in November 2022, where I was browsing through Facebook randomly, and all of a sudden an article popped up that said 18-year-old African builds a social network for Africans, and I was intrigued, and I was so impressed by how someone I didn't know much about Africa, but I thought a student building this by himself.
For Child, young tech enthusiasts like Frederick must be given all the support they need.
You just need to pay attention to young Africans, and I think even older Africans in Ghana, maybe other countries, are guilty of ignoring the youth. And the common thread is they just haven't got the resources to do what they need to do. They've got wonderful ideas.
In April this year, Ghana launched a national AI strategy. At the launch, President Mahama highlighted the need for young people to be supported in such ecosystem.
At the heart of all these pillars is one imperative: capacity. Without skilled people, strong institutions, secure infrastructure, and sound governance, no AI strategy can succeed. And that is why this strategy places equal weight on innovation and responsibility, on ambition and safeguards, on investment and inclusion. AI cannot thrive without infrastructure. Data, computing power, connectivity, and energy are now as strategic to the digital age as roads, ports, railways, and power plants were to the earlier eras of development. The government is therefore taking steps to strengthen our National Data Center and ensure that our digital backbone is secure, resilient, and capable of supporting the growing demands of the AI systems.
With the 1 Million Coders initiative by the Ministry of Communication in force, conversations are emerging on what is seen for the already existing web developers, digital builders, and AI innovators like Frederick. For Frederick, young innovators must be supported with all the resources to prevent them from seeking greener pastures outside the country with their knowledge that could have been useful to their home country.
Private institutions should also look into solutions built by young Ghanaians that they could probably fund or put money into to helping them scale their products also. Because there are a lot of ideas out there which would flourish if they had the available resources to them.
Now 21, Frederick is set to organize a build weekend in his school, bringing together other young tech innovators to showcase their talent to the world. Samuel Yeboah Adams, TV3 News, Accra.
You're also watching News 360. Aniala Alote is still celebrating Arsenal's victory. She will bring us sports after this break. Don't go away.
It's time for sports here on News 360. I am Aniela Alute. We start off in London with the moment Arsenal fans all over the world have been patiently awaiting for the past 22 years. Arsenal celebrated its coronation as Premier League champions with a 2-1 win over Crystal Palace earlier this evening at Selhurst Park, capping a remarkable season that saw it finish with 85 points. There could yet be more celebrations as Mikel Arteta's side still have the chance to win the Champions League for the first time in the coming days. But for now, it is all about the Premier League.
Heavy on trophy. He has hold of it. In 2026, the champions are the Arsenal.
Congratulations there to the Gunners. Heading over now to the Ghana Premier League. After 34 game weeks, the curtains have been drawn on the 2025-2026 Premier League season. 3 Sports' Mutala Yakubu, who has been on the ground for the entirety of the season, brings us this wrap.
In the Ghana Premier League all comes to an end. The 2025-2026 season has ended here at the Accra Sports Stadium, where the Heartland bowing out on the high with a 4-2 victory over champions Mediema. Mediema won the league last weekend when they beat Heartland Lions, and Gold Stars actually lost to Games FC. So the title was already wrapped up before this game, but for Heartland, it was important for them to solidify their position in the top 4, and they did just that by beating Mediema by 4-2. But elsewhere, shocker. Sweden All Blacks, who were in danger of being relegated, went all the way to Kumasi to beat Asante Kotoko by 2-1, with Samba Onel, Asante Kotoko captain, missing a penalty in the process. This means that despite the fact that Nations FC also won in Karela, Nations FC have been relegated and Sweden All Blacks have survived. There was history elsewhere with Atakumi, Gold Star striker, becoming the first ever Ghana Premier League player to score 6 goals in a single game. So the top 4, this is how it looked. Mediema on top of form and on top seed with 1. Then Gold Stars finished 2nd. Then we had Heartland finishing 3rd and Dreams FC finishing 4th. You're wondering where Asante Kotoko finished. They finished 8th on the league table. Season has ended and we'll be looking forward to the 2026-2027 season.
Moving on to the Arthur Legacy Invitational Tournament, Liberty Academy have been crowned champions of the competition after defeating Euro Africa on penalties in a thrilling final at the SMAC Centre in Accra. The following 3 Sports' report has more.
Lead early in the final before Liberty Academy fought back to turn the game around and lead 2-1. But a late Euro Africa penalty sent the contest into a shootout where Liberty Academy held their nerve to leave the trophy. After the final whistle, Liberty Academy coach Desmond Osunyantichi and the team captain were elated.
I mean, it's a big tournament, and to come here and be the winners, I mean, we feel great. We feel great about it. We will come and try again.
It's our first time, so we can't wait and aim to win the first time.
Italian ambassador to Ghana, Lawyer Ranelli, praised the atmosphere and organization after attending the final.
I'm very happy to be here today. Every time there is a sport event, we see a celebration of the joy and of friendship. And today I think it was a very nice example of this. So,
as a Legacy Sports CEO, Oliver Atta says the tournament is set for expansion after positive feedback from international partner CAVs.
With them coming on board now, it means that the tournament is going to grow bigger and bigger all the time. So going forward, we're going to do something across the nation.
Before the final, organizers also hosted an educational seminar for players, coaches and administrators focusing on the legal, technical and business side of football.
That's how we wrap up sports here on News 360. I am Aniela Alute. Congratulations once again to Arsenal and all its fans.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by GTP Lifestyle and Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil, powered by 3 Entertainment.
In showbiz tonight, popular Ghanaian actress and media personality Beverly Afaglu has reportedly passed away, throwing Ghana's entertainment industry into mourning. News of her death surfaced on Sunday, May 24, 2026, after her husband, musician choir master, shared an emotional tribute on social media, confirming the heartbreaking loss.
Heaven knows where we are going, but we know we will get there.
According to reports, Beverly Afaglu died just 4 days before her 43rd birthday. In his touching tribute, her husband Eugene Barr, popularly known as choir master and a member of the music group Prayer, described Beverly as his strength, happiness and biggest supporter. He expressed deep pain over her passing, saying every moment spent with her was a blessing he would forever cherish. The emotional message quickly spread across social media, with fans, actors, musicians and public figures sharing condolences and paying tribute to the late actress. Beverly Afaglu was one of the recognizable faces in Ghana's movie industry, admired for her vibrant personality and outstanding performances in films and television productions. Over the years, she featured in several popular Ghanaian movies, including Return of Beyoncé, Crime to Christ, Girls' Connection, The Game, Single Sex, A Northern Affair, and Side Chick Gang. Her acting career earned her admiration across Ghana and beyond.
Word has it that they can be more than they are, and I'm taking them.
Beyond acting, Beverly was also known as an entrepreneur and media personality who connected strongly with fans through social media. She successfully balanced her entertainment career with business and family life, often sharing moments with her husband and their 2 daughters. Many industry colleagues have described her as humble, hardworking, and supportive of younger talents within the creative arts industry. The exact cause of her death has not officially been disclosed.
Very sad story there. We wish that she rests in peace, and our sympathies goes to all the family and friends of Beverly Afaglu. That's how we draw the curtains on News 360. There's more news on our website, 3news.com. I am Noble Crosby.
And I'm Grace Hamwa Ajuman. Date Rush is up next. Good evening.